Hi everybody, I'm Mom and I welcome you all to MomDas Life Handmade and I welcome you all to Usful DIY Challenge May 2020. Pretty excited I am. I want to thank Jelena from BlondieNextDoor for co-hosting this month's challenge along with me. I want to thank each and every participant who have joined us today in this challenge this month. I want to thank each and every viewer who has come to each and every video of this challenge. This month's theme is cardboard, using cardboard crafts. You can DIY anything, but the main raw material must be a cardboard. So I've got a playlist where you can add your video to the playlist as well as view all the videos, all the entries to this challenge in this playlist. So if you have any problem adding your video to the playlist, the way I always say, make some noise, let me know in the comment section below or through other social media and I'll grab your video and add it to the playlist. You can even ask Jelena and she can help you with adding your video to the playlist. If you're an old friend, a big hello, and if you're new here, my channel is all about doing DIYs, everything that's related to home and within budget. And if you love such content, I would really appreciate if you're new here to subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button given below the video, and do hit that little notification bell so that you're notified each time I post my video. Today I have got before you two beautiful as well as very useful DIYs. So one of them is absolutely very strictly official, but yet it is beautiful. It is a book or a magazine holder, organizer or folder. Now this is beautiful because it has a monogram over it. It's not strictly those any ordinary kind of file holder or book holder. It is a monogrammed, personalized book holder. We have a lot of books in our home. Our bookshelf is full of books, so there's hardly any space for decor there. It is too many books. But I have so many journals and thin magazines or books that keep coming in the home, and when you lay them flat, they take up a lot of space. So I need to stack them vertically. That makes a little more space there in the bookshelf for more books. So I wanted a book holder or a magazine holder since a long time, and this was a perfect opportunity to create it, and I created it in a personalized way by using a monogram, by using an alphabet as a look. So it adds to the decor to the place, and it turned out so beautiful. I really am excited to share it with you. Before I share with you my DIYs, I want to share this beautiful, really beautiful plane that has been designed, cut and manufactured by my kids using 3 pieces of scrap cardboards that were left over while I was doing this project. They designed the whole thing, the body of the plane, the wings, the tail, everything, and it looks really beautiful. I really like this piece. The rawness is its beauty, and the manufacture, the details are perfect. Now let me share how I make my folder or a book holder, magazine holder with you. This is the cardboard box I'm going to begin my today's project with. The first step would be to open this all up and to be able to lay it flat so that I can work with it as if it's a paper craft. First thing I want to discuss my design. So this is how the cardboard looks after I have opened it and laid it flat. This was the outside part which has prints on it, and I'm so happy when I opened it. That's a peacock shouting. So when I opened it, it has this beautiful brown colored, the lovely brown colored base inside. I think I'm going to keep this raw look. It looks really beautiful. Now I want to discuss how I made the pattern. Now I noticed that there are 2 pieces in this box which are broader than the other 2 sides. So alternate pieces are broader. So I will make this as my side piece for the magazine holder or the book holder. Now here is a book. The reason why I'm picking this is when I place it here, I'm left with this edge, this much, which I will fold it in order to get the side. Now if I keep it in a narrower, or initially I thought I'll make it a continuous piece and just join on one side, but then I'll be left with these joints which would come in the facing sides and would make the construction weaker. I want the joints to stay in the joints only. So I'll have to make two pieces, one for each side, and then join them. Now once I open it, these are the base and the lids. The lid portions I'll cut these off, but the base portions I'm going to keep them because they'll fold and form the base of the holder also. Now I want to discuss with you how I make my design. Now here is the book. This is the regular size for a book or a magazine, and luckily this portion is the same size as that of the box, so I won't have any folded sides. I'll get one intact piece. I have chosen the alphabet A for making the design on my folder. A is an alphabet which is common for both my kids, and I'm using small case A because this is my A, small case A. I'm using this as my design because capital A will not be a very stable shape for this. So if you are making it for yourself, I would suggest you pick an alphabet that suits you and in the case that suits your need. Either lowercase or the bigger case, which would be more stable design for you. So now first I placed my book and marked all around it so that it's comfortable. It's snug yet comfortable. Next, because A has curves, it will have a curve. So at the point where it joins here, I've kept a flap here for the front side. This is the front portion. Similarly for the back, which will not be seen, I'll keep a broader piece for the back. It will fold here and this will go at the back side, and these two are of the same size. Now this portion I'll cut it off, and this is the base portion, and the same width I've kept it here. Now I have made a design here which is 2 inches wide. So all that design is 2 inches wide, and I have made my A alphabet here with pencil. Now I'll first cut this piece out. This is for one side, and I'll make a symmetrical piece for the other side. I've always told this before also, while working with cardboard, make straight lines using rulers and always cut it using X-Acto knife or a very sharp knife, and never use scissors because you will destroy the structure of it and make it weaker. So clean cuts, confident cuts using X-Acto knife only. Luckily I realized the mistake in my design and redrew my alphabet A. This time I made it 3 inches wide, and it looks more like A now. So be very sure before you start cutting anything. Now with my X-Acto knife and a ruler to support, cut using strong confident strokes. Now I've cut out one side. Now I think you'll get a little idea of how this magazine holder will turn out. So this is how the shape is going to be, and now I need to cut the other side. So this is the front of this side. Now here is the cardboard piece, the leftover, and this is the broader side. This is the front of one side that I've cut out. I just turn it over. This is the inside portion which will not be seen. Now I keep it here like this. Now this has become my template for the other side. Now when I cut it out, I'll get two symmetrical pieces for this, for each sides. So now I'll just trace it with a pencil and cut it out again with X-Acto knife. Now here are the two symmetrical pieces. I have to cut this piece out. But what I want to share with you is this is the front end. This will be the front facing end of the book or the magazine holder. These are the two back sides and this is the bottom. Now I don't want it as broad as this. This is how the exact width will be. But if I overlap and fix it, it's going to be thick and the finish, as you see, is not going to be neat. So the technique that I'm going to use here is another kind of cardboard that I'm using is layered and corrugated. As you see, it's layered. There are 3 layers of flat and 2 layers of corrugated cardboard, 5 layered cardboard. So I'm going to make a slit here. It's not a, so I'm making a slit that is half the width of the total cardboard. So I'm not going through and through as I did here. It's not through and through cut. I just have slit open and I'm taking this cardboard out. I'm also going to take this corrugated cardboard also out. So carefully cutting it. I don't want to cut it through and through, and then peel it off. And now this goes over this. So now I'll turn this one over and I'll peel off half of this, that is this side. So again I just cut halfway and try to peel this off. So this piece I'll glue here. So I'm going to use wood glue or PVA glue, which is going to be really strong for cardboard. And now you see beautifully it fits in. So it will have the right thickness and will not look odd. And this is how I'm going to fix it here. Now similarly I'll do for the back side. Fold this back also, and the bottom I'll join the 3 sides, the 2 sides at the bottom, and the front will be open for magazines to go in. Now here is this ready, and it's nice and sturdy and beautiful, and you will see that there are some raw edges of the cardboard here. So I'm going to cover these raw edges because they don't look nice, so that the finish is beautiful like I have done it here. Basically, if you remember, these are those strips of brown paper that had torn off or peeled off the cardboard while I was making the joints. So I'm going to cut thin strips out of this and use them over the joint so that it looks seamless. Like this is a place where I joined. You can't really make out where exactly are the joints. They hide so beautifully because it's the same paper as that of the cardboard. So I'll cut thin strips or thick strips as per my requirement, and using some glue attach them. Now since all the raw edges are covered and it's neat, it's time to place a label here so that I know what is in this. So I've taken a cardstock paper and I'll measure how much of it do I need and cut it out. The monogrammed A alphabet book or magazine holder is gorgeous. I love the enamel looking label on it. It makes it look so official, yet it looks so decorative. The way the magazines are peeking through the alphabet, it's beautiful. The curve of the A not only helps me see what the contents are, which magazine or book is inside, but it also helps me in picking the book easily out of the folder whenever I want it or keep it back easily. This is a very utility thing. My second DIY is a bit of a decor because a lot of people love decor, and I wanted to make this because cardboard gives you a lot of options. Cardboard opens a great variety of crafts with you, and I wanted to utilize one more aspect of the cardboard, that is the corrugated sheet look, which you can give a galvanized look or any kind of metallic look to it. So my next DIY is basically a decor DIY, but it turns out useful in homes. So I'm taking some of the scrap pieces of cardboard left out from my first project, and I've cut out a thin strip, and this is a votive candle holder votive, and this is a small one, and this length of strip, it's like it just covers this much, say about 1/3 of the height of the beaker or the votive, and it is of the length which is more than the circumference of this glass piece. Now again I will strip off the top layer of this brown paper and expose the corrugated surface. Now I've taken off from one side the brown paper. Now I'm going to roll this, keeping this side out, the corrugated side out. I'm going to roll it. So that it's nice and smooth, and it curves on every piece, so that it makes a perfect round like this. Now I'll join the two ends. Again, the same way I did with my previous project, I'll take off a little layer from here and overlap it to join it. I'll trace the inner circle. Oops, it has to dry. Now while this dries, I'll trace an inner circle and cut 2 circles out of these 2 pieces. Now I've cut out 2 roundels and I'm going to stick them together. This is dry, and I'm going to add some glue on the inner side towards the base. Place the roundels inside this so that it becomes the base. Like this. It's a flat base over which this votive can stand. And there's a very little space here which I can fill with white chips of stones. Now something to decorate this. Now one can give it a galvanized look, but I'm not more for the gray tones or gray metallic tones, so I'll go for the golden or the bronze metallic tone here. I'm using a broad brush, some bronze color and a little black color, and mostly it's going to be dry brushing. So dry brush with very little color and just dry brush it. Now with this bronze paint, as I go like this, I'm mainly doing the elevated portion of this corrugated thing. Then lightly dry brush the whole thing. This looks like old copper or old bronze kind of thing, and I like this color. The votive candle holder, I love this. As I said before, one can try grey, silver, black colors for the galvanized look, but I have a more warm decor in my home, and so this rusted bronze kind of look is really nice for me. I like how this votive candle holder looks with the warm yellow glow from inside. I really liked how my today's DIYs turned out. I'm super excited to see everybody's DIYs and thank everybody for participation and for joining us in this challenge. And I want to see you again very soon in the next DIY, in my next video. Until then, take care, be positive, be creative and be happy.